Hi guys, this is Kelly from Cozy Reader Kelly, and today I'm going to do the mid-year check-in tag. And I know there's also another tag called the mid-year book freakout tag going around, but this one the questions seem to fit more with things I could answer, and so I picked this one. And this is an original tag that was just made, I think, last week by Dane Reads and Harriet Rosie. They did it jointly, so I'll link both of their videos down below if you want to check out theirs. And so let's get right into the tag. So first question is, how many books have you read so far this year? And I have read, as of today, June 25th, I have read 45 books in 2018. And lately I've been reading a lot of books. Like my last mid-June check-in, I had read 9 books in the first 2 weeks of June. And some people have commented on how I've read so many books. And I'll just tell you right now, I have no tips and tricks for how much I've read. I don't like skim read. I don't listen to audiobooks on double time. The only reason I've been able to read so many books in the last couple months is because I have a baby who does not sleep. Like, she has been kind of refusing to sleep on her own at night, so my husband and I switch off. So whenever I say in my videos that I get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I am not joking. I literally get up with her at 3 or 4 every morning. And my husband is better able to like sleep while holding her, but I have just given up on that because I just can't. Every move she makes, every little cry wakes me up. So instead, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I read books. I read on my phone, ebooks, or I listen to audiobooks. So that's why I'm able to read so many books. So there's no tips and tricks. It's just having a not sleeping baby is the trick. And I wouldn't necessarily suggest it. I would really love it if she slept. That would be optimal. But might as well do something with that time. Number 2 is, what is your favorite book so far this year? And my favorite book, surprisingly, is The Martian by Andy Weir. And I say surprisingly because I'm not really a big sci-fi fan, but I just like really got absorbed in this story. Just loved it, thought it was hilarious and suspenseful, and just like really enjoyed my time reading this. And so much so that I convinced my husband to read it, and he's already halfway through, and we just are enjoying talking about it now. So that is definitely my favorite so far this year. What's the most disappointing book you've read this year is number 3. And I don't have a copy of this because I got it from the library, but it was The Girl Who Drank the Moon by, oh gosh, what, Kelly Banfield? I don't know. I don't remember. I'll write it down in the description what her name is. But it was a middle grade book, and I was really excited to read it because I kind of thought it had a little to do with adoption, and so I was excited thinking it was something I could read to my children, and it just let me down a little bit in the fact that I don't think it's something I could comfortably read to them as an adopted family. So I did like a whole video about, not a whole video, but I put it in one of my wrap-ups, kind of my feelings about it. So I'll link that video down below if you want to hear it. I kind of talked for a long time about my feelings, so I'm not going to say them now. So number 4 is, what genre have you read most this year? And I've looked on my Goodreads, and I have a real mix of genres. I just kind of read whatever I feel like, so it has been a mix. I would say if there's one that is a little more, it might be YA, contemporary, or fantasy, like combined, like YA books, but not that. I've read a lot of adult books, I've read a lot of middle grade, so there has been a whole mix of genres. Number 5 is, name a new favorite author that you've discovered this year. And I have 2. One is a newer author, and that is Julie Buxbaum. And what I read by her is What to Say Next, and then I went out and bought this book, Tell Me 3 Things, right away because I loved the other one. And I haven't gotten around to this one because I just haven't been in a YA contemporary mood the last few weeks, but I would like to get to it soon because I really liked the last one. And then the other one is not a new author, it's someone that's new to me, and that is Agatha Christie. I've really gotten into her lately. This is The Mysterious Affair at Styles. I'm actually listening to this book, but I like to have the physical in case I want to go back and forth. I've really been enjoying listening to those in like the old kind of style and proper English and all that stuff, so I've been enjoying getting into her. Number 6 is, what's the most surprisingly good book you've read this year? And I actually just finished this yesterday. And it was I Capture the Castle by Jody Smith. This is a classic, I mean, I think more of a newer classic. It was written in the 1940s, so it's not like really old, but almost 100 years now at this point. And I was just surprised at how much I love this, because sometimes I like to read classics, but I might not find them totally interesting. I just kind of like, oh, this is a good book, I'm glad I've read it, because it has historical value and all this, but this one was actually really interesting to read. I felt like this could compete with a current YA contemporary. Like, it read like a YA romance because it's the main character is a 17-year-old girl, and there's so much drama involved with her love life and her sister's love life, and there's family issues and just like everything that you would have in a current novel. It is a little slower in the writing, but I didn't mind it because it was very charming the way she wrote, and I was absorbed the entire time. And so I was really surprised how much I really enjoyed this, and it might be one of my favorite classics. Like, I just adored it. It was really good. The next one is, what are your favorite and most anticipated 2018 releases? So in terms of so far that I've read, my favorite was Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I don't have that. I have the second book, Gemina, because I had to return Obsidio to the library. But it was the third in that trilogy. It was the final. And so I was just excited to be able to finish off the trilogy and it have a good ending. And I really enjoyed like seeing those characters one more time, and I like it when things end so that I can feel conclusion. So it was really nice just having a conclusion to that trilogy. And then the one that I'm most anticipating, I don't have any ones that haven't come out yet because I don't really look that far into the future. So I'm just going to mention the one that just came out that I got, which is Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. I just picked this up from the library this morning, and I think it just came out a few weeks ago, and I just love Casey West, and so I don't really know much about what this is about. I just know it's going to be a cute contemporary YA romance, so I'm just going to go into it and read it and hopefully enjoy it because I usually enjoy her books. Number 8 is, what's your next big priority for your reading? And lately I've been reading a lot of smaller books, like, and by smaller I mean like under 300, 350 pages, and then like some graphic novels and some other middle grade kind of smaller books. And so like I'm craving a bigger book that I can really like take my time on, and it might take me a few weeks to read or something like that. And so two of the ones that are on my shelf that are big are All the Light We Cannot See and East of Eden. And so I think I want to get to these in the next like month just to read like a bigger story that I can just really sit with for a while. There is a readathon coming up called Tome Topple next. I think it's coming up like in a week or so. So I might just do that readathon just to be able to read some bigger books, because in that readathon you're supposed to be reading books that are over 500 pages. And since both of these are over 500, I might just do the readathon to push myself into getting that goal done. And then number 9 is, what's been your bookish highlight of the year so far? And one is obviously that I started my channel this year, so that has been exciting. But the other thing that I've started to do since I got a YouTube channel was I started a buddy read, and I'd never done that before, and I have really enjoyed it. I've done a couple classic buddy reads with Murphy Napier. She does all of her classics by buddy read. I'll link her down below. And then I did a couple with Dane Reads, who is the one that created this tag. He did about 10 buddy reads recently with a bunch of people, and I just really enjoy them. It's fun to like be reading a book and like discussing it with somebody else. So I think soon I might do like kind of host a buddy read myself, like invite people to buddy read something with me. So you might see a video about that soon, of wanting to read something together, because I've done about 4 of them in the last 2 months, and I just really enjoy that way of interacting with books. And then the last one, number 10, is, who do you tag? And I'm going to tag 4 smaller booktubers that, so I think they're all under 500, I think. And I just would like to give them a shout out as people you should go and check out, and also see if they would like to do this tag. So the first is Julie from Hungry Bookworm, and then Kieran from Key Reads, Jennifer from Novel Crawler, and Leslie from Leslie Cardix. All right, thanks. See you next time.